Was it PC stream? Yeah, there we are. Yeah, there we are. Okay. I haven't looked at everything. I haven't set everything up. This is very high. Maybe I'll bring it down. Yeah, there we go. That's a little bit better. Why don't I just use my laptop camera? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I am. Maybe I will. A little sweaty. Just got back from a little walk. My wife and I are trying to... It's crazy. We just came from LA. And, you know, we thought everybody would be health conscious out there. But moved to Austin and everybody's in, like, excellent shape. So we feel, like, ridiculous. Of course, we've, you know, been dealing with... just had a baby in January, so, you know, we've got a little bit of excuse from the stress and the move and all that. But today is day 2 of my water fast, so I'm fasting for 7 days. No food. So this is day 2. I'm a little foggy headed. My hair is, as you can tell, I haven't even taken a bath yet. So I'm coming to you nasty, double nasty. And yeah, so today we're going to be working on, I've got some updates to Night Jackal. I just kind of want to put this into a devlog. I'm really big into devlogs. I mean, I like them, but I don't know. It's just like, I don't really cut anything together. People usually cut together a video or something. I'm just streaming. But, I don't know. It's going out to YouTube. I haven't even checked YouTube to see how that's doing. But yeah, I do. I'm trying to figure out how to. I didn't set up anything. My OBS isn't really set up well, so I'd have PC stream, which I think is. Let's see. Does that? Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, but here's the funny thing. I always forget. So what I'll do is, this is the easy FPS editor. What I'll do is I'll switch over to Notepad++, which is the preferred, I guess, editor for scripts. What I really like to do is give you full depth. It's very, very old. It was a powerhouse when I got it. It's an Alienware 17R4, but it's 7th generation. I have no idea what all this shit means, but like, it was a gaming PC, and I got it specifically to develop in HTC Vive VR, and now it's not compatible for Windows 11. So I'm going to have to get a new machine, which is bullshit. Who would have thought buying a expensive laptop, and this was an expensive laptop when I bought it. I mean, I bought it a long time ago, but still, it was around 2017. What am I complaining for? It was like 8 years ago. But I also have like an iMac 5K that's like one of the originals from back then too, and I bought that new, and you know, it's fucking, I hate it. But the thing is like when you have children and you have a wife, like they don't want you to upgrade things. I've got a MacBook Pro here that's also old. Like everything I own is like antiquated and trash now. But I don't mind my PC. It actually works pretty well. It's pretty fast. I prefer to be on Macs, but this has to be, Easy FPS editor has to be updated in PC. They have no love for Macs or Linux. So, and yeah, that's why I really love Unity, because you can just lean into the Mac builds. Anyway, so what's new? Couple things. Okay, I don't know what that is. Don't know why that's there. All right, a couple things, and let me remember to close that. So let's see if you can see what I'm looking at. Yeah. So what's new? What's new is let me just play some of this. Let me bring this up. I'm going to show you some of the new stuff. Added in new states to the weapons. And I've got a little test map here. Kind of show you. I haven't even built the test map out to be anything cool. Let me just make sure you can see. Yeah. All right. Here, let me switch over to this. Yeah, so you can actually see the game full screen. So many little stupid windows. Like, I really need a palette monitor. So anyway, this is a test map. This is not going to be in the game. I mean, it's going to be in the game, but it's going to be in a place that's inaccessible. Unless you're authoring, but like... but anyway, so I changed the grappling hook. It's probably the biggest change that I've made. And I've changed the code. So it used to be that you had to be on these blue and yellow blocks. In fact, let me put one of those down so you can see. There we go. All right, let's do tiles, just so we have. I'm gonna put some better walls or something up too, because this is kind of silly. But where's my blue? There we are. So yeah, I'm just gonna put it right there, so we have a reference. I'm also going to down here put some. I mean, this is not meant to be anything special. This is not. All right, I'm just going to line this up. Just want an area where I can put some enemies down and you can kind of see what I've been working on, and I don't really want them to see me and start going, hey, and start coming after me. So I'm going to put some blockades here. Make sure that we absolutely block them off. Okay, and here we go. Yeah, whatever. I have no idea what I'm doing there, but let's put some basic entities here. I'll put one here. Yeah, so we'll put a couple. One here, 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 here. Let's put one of these guys here. Why not? Okay. And I'm going to get rid of this grappling hook and stuff. And I'm just going to switch over now to Game EXE. Okay. Okie dokie. All right. Yeah. So again, this is not anything meant for. This is just for testing. But anyway, so I usually have these blue and yellow ceramic blocks that you can stand on, and that's usually what you use to grapple. It was a mechanic, and you had to point directly up, and then it would just take you directly up. There was no physics to take you in any kind of arc, so I fixed that. Now you can use it anywhere. So I can go over here, and see it'll pull me in the direction that I fire. Right, and so if I'm straight up, I go more up. Well, there's something over my head, so it's going to cap me. But if I do like this, you see I go pretty high. I'd probably go up here. Yeah. So I can go up here if I wanted to. And now you can do that on the whole map. And what's crazy is, you know, if you just do like this, you may be able to get there. But if you jump while you're doing it, like watch. I didn't do it right. But if I jump and time it just perfectly. No, I didn't do it there either. Oh. Yeah. Then you can really get a higher jump. So it just kind of adds another layer, and it actually is kind of fun. Like this, for instance, if I were just to jump, I wouldn't be able to make this jump. But with a grappling hook, I certainly can. Now, I can't make it just with the grappling hook. It's going to drop me off into the water, and I'm going to get hurt. So I have to use a combination of like a jump forward kind of thing, or just a forward kind of thing. Or you can do a jump to add some extra height. So it gives a little bit more of a strategy for the players. And then this one's a big point. You gotta really, yeah. But I mean, you know, you figure it out. Then you just go over here and blah, blah, blah. Oh, oh no. Okay. How about we just start this over? Yeah, because I'm gonna have to go fight some bad guys in a second, and I don't want to die. Okay. Let me make sure that we can see everything. In the OBS, yes, we can. All right. So I'm gonna give all my weapons here. A couple new things. We actually have auto attacks for a lot of the weapons, so you can do your punch, which has been sped up, and you can do a slower but more powerful kick. Look at that boot. It's sort of like an alt Night Jackal, costume too, because if you notice, he doesn't have his silver bands. That's why people think he looks more like Batman, because he's just all blue, but he just doesn't have his silver rings on his arms, and he's not wearing his jacket. When I originally drew the sprites, he had his jacket sleeves on, but it looked really weird popping up on the bottom of the screen. It wasn't like in full view, so just kind of make things look weird. But yeah, this is actually a longer attack now, where it's like as you can see, your fists don't reach, but your foot will. Another thing I added in was an alt attack to the grappling hook, which this is really cool. So if you see somebody, like an enemy or something, you can actually right click with if you have your grappling hook out, it'll pull you to them, and it'll set you up for a combo move with your fists, right? See? And that's just with the grappling. So I can right click, and I can also do the kick if I think I can time it right, which probably easier with the punch. But it's just an extra little thing in case you want to hit them with that, and you give them a little 1-2, and I'll show you how that works in just a second. Here, let's get this guy. Hey. Of course, this is pretty fast. Yeah. And again, it's like you have to kind of time it. It's a little slower with the kick. And you can see I'm down to 79, which is not awesome, but I'm also not the best at it. I also did a new attack with this. The Fang Blade is actually what they're called. Let me check my audio levels. That would really be embarrassing if my audio sucked. Check. Yeah, my audio is fine. But I've also added a series of different attacks. Now the Fang Blade, what makes it cool is it's very precise, and it shoots very long ways. I've actually upped the damage, so it's a much more formidable weapon. And I did this a while back. So it's more like a pistol, and you can see, you can just sit here and just unload, and the precision is exact every time. So it's a very precise weapon. However, if you were going to attack somebody close up, instead of doing like 3 bursts like this, you can actually hold the right click down once, and it does 3 really fast, but it's not precise. But it does a quick burst, has a wide spread, and the further you get out, obviously, it spreads wider. And it's still the same distance, so if I go way back, but you can see it really spreads out. So this is a close-up weapon, sort of close range. But it does have, if you hold down the click, you have to release the mouse and then click again to fire again. So it is a sort of single shot type of deal. It doesn't repeat. And so and there is a delay. So this guy, yeah, takes him right out. Pretty cool, right? So that's the Fang Blade. That's the change. So if you're trying to get something a little bit more exact, like there was an enemy across the room, you could do that. But if you had somebody close by, you could and you had this thing pulled, you could just blast them with your right click. All right. Shotgun doesn't have any updates, except for the range. The range has changed right now back to something shorter. It kind of nerfs the gun a little bit, so I've got to rethink this, because you also have this one with the 2 fists, and they don't spread as much they don't have as much damage as the shotgun. but the shotgun spreads the damage out. And I'll check just a second to see what that is. This one does a wide spread, and largely because you have so much recoil, whereas this gives you a big area blast. Anyway, I think the shotgun's still fun. You know, it really will take a lot of playing to see if it's a formidable weapon. I've always enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the weapon. But once you get this dumps, one burst dumps six bullets from your clip. So it's not a very efficient weapon, but and it's not very powerful. It gives you like 7 damage, and I think the shotgun is around. Hold on, let me check real quick. No, shit, I can't. Here, let's just go back. Let's look at some of the damage. Let me get you back to here. The damage of the shotgun, 35. So it's actually a pretty powerful weapon, but it's also spread between a spread of 10 or wait, 5 bullets, I think. No, 10 bullets, yeah. So 10 bullets. Or it's, you know, it's not actually 10 bullets. It's like what the spread is. So the damage is spread between it as well. So let's go back and I'll show you what I mean. Let's go back here. Really need to come up with a better system, man. This is like painful. I was trying to do the full desktop record, but it just, I don't know. It's just not working. Let's see. You should be able to see that. So let's just make sure you can. Yep. All right, so let me give all the weapons. So let me explain what I mean here. It's like with the shotgun, you get a spread of 35 damage going to 10. And so there's 2 rounds shot just now. So I just shot 2 rounds. And if you count these up, it should come out to about 20 total bullets. And, or whatever, shots or whatever. I don't know what you would call it because this is shotgun. So it's going to be like a buckshot type of idea. So you get a spread. Anyway. But each one of these disperses that 35 evenly. So if you get really far back and you try to shoot, fewer of these are going to hit. And so this doesn't become such a powerful weapon unless you're in really close quarters. It's a good way to get up close to somebody and give them, right there, that would be 70 damage. But you have to be it's almost like you came up in like melee distance. Right? So that's really what kind of makes it good. That would be a lot of damage there. And this would be like, you know, potentially could miss some of them the further you get back. So you get less damage. I mean, it's a good little system. But this one is 7 damage per round, well, per attack, I should say. But you can see it goes toot. So you can easily empty your clip. So I added a right click function, an alt attack here. And it's just a single. So it's a double burst because each one of them fires. And so it only shoots the 2. And it's a single shot. So you have to spam it if you want to. But I like this because it gives you a little bit more control. You still get the recoil and all that kind of stuff. So you can easily start missing, as you can see. So it's not exactly something you want to just spam. Right? If you're going to spam it, I would do this. I would just hold down the normal attack. But it's good if you just want to do a quick single burst. It's nice. Now watch. Do it to these guys. It's not what I would use to take on like a big crowd. I would much rather use the left mouse button for the big crowd like this. But for a more accurate sort of attack, I think it's pretty cool. And it goes pretty far. It's a fairly longy range weapon. It's not. I've changed the range on this one too, so it's a little shorter. It's about half the distance of like most weapons. Half the distance of this one, Fang Blade. And we made an improvement on this, which with the right click you have a more precise aiming mechanism. See, and it's an extremely accurate weapon. I wish we had some target pack practice here or something. No, wait a second. Hold on. My Twitch chat has a spam bot, and Twitch's moderation tools are such bullshit. Like, their whole interface has gotten to be such bull. They're just so bent on advertising to you. They're just giving a worse experience. I've just noticed this with Amazon in general, and I've been an early adopter of Amazon. I was I had an Amazon account back in '99, and I used to buy from them, and they've just gotten just worse. Like, how do you first time chat? Who cares? Can't even like remove this piece of shit. All right. Oh, there it is. Delete message. Oh, did they just move this? All right. Should have just blocked them. Anyway. So annoying. So fucking annoying. Okay. So where was that? Oh, yeah. Let's go back. Let me get you to go full screen here. Should definitely set up shortcuts, I think. All right, let's get back to weapons. Yeah, so those are most of the changes, but here I'll just show you how the right click works here. And it gives you a more powerful shot too. This actually advances your damage if you go right. But you get a single shot, but which is really more than anything, more powerful to take down most enemies if you go to a zoomed in position and you have a pretty powerful damage there. I forgot what exactly it is. I can check that. It's enough to take these guys out. But I think a single shot anyway. But it's also slower. If I hold this down, I get like a faster sort of shooting from the hip style. That's how it normally is. And it reloads fast too. It's a really versatile weapon. It's one of my favorites. This rifle. But I don't think, like this guy, yeah, a single one of these takes them right out. But yeah, you got a single burst like that if you wanted to, and this will give you 14. If it hits some square, that's 14 damage. Right, so that's 28 I just dealt. And each one of these punches, I think, are about 10 each, and then this one's going to be 30 something. So gives you kind of idea. But this is faster. Your punches are going to be faster, short range. This is going to give you a little bit more reach, but it's going to be a little slower. And of course, your Fang Blade works great. I think in very rare instances, if you're walking around with your Fang Blade, you know what you're doing. You're trying to get some precision shots off. And if you got somebody close to you, you can just kind of turn around and pop, pop, pop. And how much damage does that give? Let's look. Let's go look. Fang Blade actually, like I said, I updated. Yeah, so it's 12 damage. And I think that's sustained through all of it. So yeah, it's like 12 damage. So when you're doing the precision, it's like 12, 12, 12. And which probably would be a more effective tool than your two-fisted, which gives you 14 damage on the single burst. But whatever, you play with it, pick the one that you like. But the 3 that it throws actually does the same damage, so it's 12 times 3, and it throws it pretty fast. So it's pretty powerful up close. So that's what, 36 damage, pretty good. So let's put that to the test. Let's put some enemies down. Let's get rid of, let's see, what's this? Okay. Let's see. Let's find an enemy that has a good. These are my working glasses, by the way. I've had these, God, since early 2000s, like early 2000s, like maybe 2005, mid 2000s. All right, let's look at some of these. So his health is only 30, so he can be wiped out instantly with the right click of the Fang Blade, because it's going to give you about 36. Hinch armed, similar. As long as you don't miss with one of those, pretty good. If you're too far away, actually, that's a good point. Let's put one of these right here, and I'll show you. I'll do a right click on him and throw my alt attack. Let's see, Boa Staff 42. Okay, so that's good. Boa Staff would actually be a good one to test, so because it won't kill him. Not on the first one. So he probably wouldn't be the best one to do an attack on. And let's just put that to the test. Let's see. All right. Okay. And let's see. Okay. This is the one we want. So this should work well for this guy. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Takes him right out because 36 damage and he's what, 35? And this guy's 42 coming up. And so this would probably... Oh. Put the wrong one down. Well, excuse me, sir. That is something completely different. All right. Let's do that again. Yeah. Huh? Oh no! How did that happen? It must be, must have missed. Yeah. Eventually take him out, BC. It's just not... So you're gonna have to be smart about that, I'd say. You know, do something like you're gonna have to get kind of close because it is kind of a close range. It has widespread with a speed attack, so it's the opposite of precision attack. Yeah, it's enough for this guy. You know, you gotta back up. Let's see what the other ones do against these guys. Just kind of curious. Well, I mean, the shotgun hasn't really changed. It's very powerful. Hey! It's gonna murk you. And it can murk these guys too. But you gotta get close. You gotta get close. That's really where its power is. It's almost like you have to be melee close. All right, let's try that again. Let's pick another one. Do a test here. Let's do this one. And so each one of these is going to be 14. This is not going to be very effective. 3 bursts, not bad. It's also like, if you can tell, there's less weight in between them, and so if the enemies have a hurt state, then they're going to be hurt, and you're going to slow them down. So in a way, because this one's so fast and consistent, that one goes so fast, and there's like, you have a little pause there, so they may be able to catch up to you. Again, finding the right weapon for you. Which one works the best? And of course, you have the Gloves of Tartarus, which you win later in the game. Yeah, and it's really... each one of these is 25. So this gets 100 damage if you hit them with all 4. So if you have an enemy that's moving a lot, You know, then it can be kind of difficult trying to get it to land on the enemy. It's far away too when it's moving a lot. But most of these guys are pretty straightforward. I'll take them out with this. And also if you have a lot of enemies, because there's a little bit of a cooldown, you do it. And yeah, you might be noticing that there's a double arm thing happening. That's because these are mystical gloves. So that's just part of the fun. And of course the bad boy. Now, what's interesting about, let me bring up this just in case spam comes up. Okay. What's interesting about this one, this is the one you get in the game as Night Jackal. You can see his blue hands. Whereas you go to, in the prison, you get this one. And you can see they're a little different. One's smaller, one's bigger. Just has to do, and this one is very OP. I mean, it is, not much can survive this. This one's less OP. You can see that there's like a difference in how they fire. And let me show you. Let me bring up some enemies here. Let me switch this over. Oh, I'm already there. Let's see. These guys are the elite. And let's look at their stats real quick. Okay, they have 73, and I love these guys. They're crazy. I mean, they're like really OP. Well, not really OP, but they're pretty overpowered. I mean, I think in terms of the other guys, but they're also part of the elite. You don't come across them towards the end. And there is one part where there's a bunch of them you have to fight, and it's a hard level. So you got to be very careful and kind of know what you're doing. All right, let's see. But let's just put a bunch of these guys here, and then let's take this guy out, and we'll put a bunch of guys here. I'll just kind of show you. All right, we'll just put a bunch of these guys here. Oh. All right, show you how these big miniguns work. Now this one's been, it's not nerfed, but let me make sure you can see. Yeah, you can see. It's not nerfed, but it's certainly, I mean, it's nerfed compared to the other one, but certainly not as OP and as the other one. So let me, you know, you can say I sprayed a lot of bullets, you know, so, but this one, this will take them out. And this one's very OP. And there's no changing of the, like, it's just 999 bullets at your disposal. Target. Just OP as can be. And it's when it comes during the prison phase. So it's not part of reality, at least not in the traditional sense. So it's at a time when Night Jackal's in his head, supposedly, presumably, and you know, he's having a vision, and you know, he goes back to a memory inside prison. So see, this one's not gonna, I might die. Now, if I come in with the other one, I might live. Let's see. Let's just do this for shits and gigs. Yeah, like this one. This one's going to take them all out. Target. Yeah. They couldn't even get a shot on me. Okay. We got 68. Here we go. just died. But anyway, it definitely took out more of them, I think. And I had to balance, because I had to balance the other weapon. Yeah, I had to balance the other weapon because it was a little too powerful. It's a little too overpowered. So I had to nerf it a little bit. Let's see. What are some other changes? We have changes in well, there's like new maps. I don't know if I showed. We have the endings. I'm not going to show the endings. There's a new change here. Okay, so when you get towards the end, I'll just show you a little bit at the end. But in order to do that, I don't know if you can see. Oh. Let's see. Let's do. Let's go into scripts, and we're going to go to question map. Okay, so this is going to be the end of. There we go. I have to put this in because otherwise my character won't be able to move if I don't set this global parameter for player current speed. And yeah, you could say technically it should be up here. Yes. But it's just for testing. You know, it's because this is all set based off of code, what your speed's going to be, because we modify it multiple times. But when I'm testing like this, I just put it in. And also on this map, we're not going to manipulate your speed, so it's not really that necessary. But it's good practices to stick to something so you don't have to remember, because God knows the way that this thing's built out. There's a lot of things you have to remember. You have to keep a lot of things straight in your head, because each time you do a code, you can't, like if I do code for my grappling hook, for instance, that has to go into a map loop script, and it has to go into each individual one. And there are some benefits to that, but mostly it's not a benefit. I'd much rather there be a single class somewhere and that, you know, but whatever. I'm not going to get into that whole argument. All right, so now I should be able to play this. Let me just make sure you can see. Yeah. Let me go to this view. And so you can see the actual... Okay. So I'm going to give all. So I have that. And when you get here, you're probably going to be using this. The great thing about these gloves of Tartarus is they actually give you health back. I don't need any ammo because I just gave myself a bunch of ammo. I'm getting text messages real quick. Let me just... my friends saying some bullshit. Okay. Alright, so this is the end of the map. And spoiler, where you go and you confront Sang, and Sang takes you through the history of your father's nightmarish inventions of industry of war. Anyway, he's part of the Khmer Rouge. Saying is like you're like the so it's basically communism versus capitalism. Very very apropos today. And this is sort of weaker side. But I was going to show you once you interact with him. There's like he explains a little bit about what your father, who he was, and he basically tells you you have a choice. Either you denounce your father or you don't. And so I feel like most people wouldn't. And of course you're gonna get punished. Hey. Spoiler. This room is new. I just added this. Oh shit. good start. And it utilizes more of the grappling hook, because you come in here, you're going to reach a point where... Oh, let me just take care of these guys real quick. You're going to reach a point where you're not going to be able to jump across. Now, I could just run, but, you know, you don't want to do that. So there's a comic book over there, so I'm going to grapple over to it. Now, I could go over here. F off. Right. But honestly, the real way to get here, well, you can also take a safer route, which at least presumably looks safer. And that is, if you go this way, you could go up here, right? Oops. Ah, what am I gonna do? You could go over here. Can't jump this one. You get kind of the idea. I think it's a cool little mechanic. It's not a lot in the game. It just comes here. It's only if you make this choice, and I'll show you the other one. When you make it through, you know. Let me show you the other one real quick. Let me just redo this. Just make sure you can see, because that would be really embarrassing. You should see. Alright, so I'm going to give all my weapons. These are good as default, because this is a pretty powerful weapon. I mean, it will take off 100, like I said, for all 4 projectiles landing. But if you only get one, you get 25, right? So there is a risk there, and then plus it gives you a heal. And I don't know what they call that, like a buff or something. I don't know what they call it. I don't know what they call it in gaming terms, but it will heal you up to 75%. All right, let me get through this real quick. Play the game if you want to see the story. And if you go this route, I'll kind of show you the difference in the choices. You get ammo if you need it, and here's your little grappling thing you got to get past. Oh no, it's so hard. So you're rewarded for your choices, obviously, but of course, but your choices you're making means something in the game. So you know whether or not you're just doing it like I don't care what the meaning of it is, or if you're actually you're just playing just to get through the game. That's fine too. But if you're really wanting to embody the character Night Jackal, you know, your choices have meaning. And this one's the same way. You come up here, you're given given a choice, and in this one you got 2 of these little buttons that pull down, and one of them unlocks the door. And can you guess what the other one does? Can you guess? Yeah, it releases these little spiders. I'm going to use my secret weapon. This is not available in the game, so you're not going to be able to play with this. But you basically pick one of these, and it's going to tell you whether or not you picked the right one or not. Give you a sound clue. Alright, so you know you're in trouble. But I have a good weapon, so this one, there's no recoil really. And once you kill the last one, then it unlocks the door. Okay. So I'll switch back to this one. And then you go into this elevator, it takes you down to the docks. Now this is the final boss battle. Spoiler. But I want to show you some of the new additions so that we can, okay. All right. Let me just copy this. I guess because I don't have this variable. Oh, you guys can't see, can you? No. Yeah. I guess because I don't have this variable in the doc level. I don't know. I'm just gonna, I don't even have to, who cares? Like, I can just keep this like that. Who cares? This is the last boss battle anyway. You don't have to worry about it, so. All right. Now we're gonna come back to the doc map. And here we'll just start here. Now we do this cool thing where you've had a chance to gather a bunch of ammo for this minigun, and the minigun's pretty powerful, and it's the best weapon against the final boss. But if you, and this is the thing, it's all about gameplay and having fun, and so I want the gaming experience for people when they get here to be similar. So if you shot all your bullets out and you got here, or you never picked up this gun to begin with, you never found it, right? I don't want you to have to fight a boss that you needed to be prepared for, because I want you to get here and have fun and not be like, well, shit, what, I got to play the whole game again, and be frustrated. So we do this little thing where if you come up to Sang, just open this up real quick. Sorry. If you come up to Sang, and Sang's TV here, this little, you find out this is going to be your final boss, and you interact with this TV like you have in the past. It will calculate once it goes to the boss how much ammo you have. It'll first evaluate whether you have this gun at all. If you don't, it's going to subtract from his HP. It's going to give you an experience that is balanced towards what the weapon you currently have. Now, when he turns to a second phase, not much you can do, right? You're still going to have to fight him with the weapons you chose, but in this initial phase, at least you're going to get a better chance with him here, and you know, the minigun. But if you have full ammo, it's actually going to not penalize you, but it's going to add to his HP or subtract depending on how much ammo you have, so that you ultimately are going to equalize the experience, so that everybody is having experience that's similar when you get here, regardless of how much ammo you have. So it's just, you'll see, basically going to dump all of my ammo into them. And I can sit here before we go and just like empty it out. Right? And I can sit there and like empty this whole thing out, and it'll calculate appropriately. So now it will have less HP. So. That should get them pretty close to what you should be. Hard, yeah. You can ride the current. I love that. Can't camp. Camp is gonna be hard. You're gonna get murked so hard. So, but I'm just gathering some ammo. Yeah, each one of the little robots and hands comes out and all that. No! Original harder, let's go up the harder. Well, he's easy because he doesn't move a lot. So, okay, so now I've got him down, but his suit's malfunctioning, and he's not going to attack him. Come up here. New form. Exoskeleton. Yeah, it hurts. Hard. I love this thing. He shoots things at you. He's so cool. Alright, I'm out. I'm about to die. Let's go down here. Whew. Careful, don't camp. Do not camp. So hard. Love this little jump again. That was kind of a pain in the butt to program actually in this, but you get the idea. I don't give you too much. And then at the end, I will show you this. Yeah. Okay. Oh, was that on me the whole time? Me playing? Great. You got to see my game face, my gamer face. Great. Yes, I'm sure I was having a good time. But basically, you get a choice here. Oops. You can kill Sang, or you can finish out. But if you kill Sang, it takes you to something else. I can sit here and obliterate his body parts. Anyway, I don't want to. I didn't know I had the camera on me the whole time. Sitting there playing. I have the worst game face because I get very stressed. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to leave that in here. I don't think it's going to hurt anything. So let's look at some of the changes here programmatically. What do we want to look at? I don't want to. God, I wish you could see how much code I have. You know, in fact, let me just do that. That's new. That's the new stuff. I don't really. I'm trying to think if I have anything else that's new. I was going to. This is my second day of fasting. I was going to continue to fast and checking on the progress, how I feel. Today I'm got a little bit of a head fog, and it's been a little challenging yesterday and today. Yesterday, well, I started Monday at 6:15 p.m. Of course, I ate dinner, and then after dinner was 6:15 p.m. and I had a big barbecue dinner. It had It had brisket, barbecue sauce, pickles, onions. I mean, it's like the Texas way. It's really good. So I ate the brisket sandwich. I had some mac and cheese. I made sure I loaded up on carbs. I was enjoying myself, and then 6:15 I stopped. No food, only water. And coffee, of course. The next day I drink black coffee. And so that's what I started. So that started Monday. Today is Wednesday, right? Or is it Wednesday? Thursday. So Monday night to Tuesday night would be day one. Tuesday night to Wednesday night was day two. So this is day three. What? Wait, I didn't start Monday. I started Tuesday. What am I talking about? See? That's what I'm saying. I've got like the brain fog. Yes, I started Tuesday night. So this is day two. And after today, it should get easier. The good thing is like my body's trained to, it's trained for low carb and going into ketosis, because that's basically what's happening today. My first time I started doing low carb was around 2002, 2003, something like that. It was the Atkins diet, and I loved it so much because not only do you lose some weight, but you feel energetic. And I was in like excellent shape back then. I turned 30 around that time, sometime, around there, and I just got like super thin and was in good shape. I was working out at the gym, and I was like, man, this is awesome. This is so incredible. And I was doing it until I met my girlfriend, my wife, but it was my girlfriend at the time. And she just, of course, was not interested in low carb diets. So, she tried. She tried a little bit, but so it's made it challenging for the years. When you can get kids, and you don't want to work out. You don't have time, really. You're trying to get all your work done. You don't have as much free time. You have to kind of plan free time. Like when you're in your 20s, you like, oh, I'm going to go do something fun, and you can have your vacation, be like, I'm going to go travel. And then when you come back, you're like, I'm going to go work, and then I'm going to have this free time to go do fun stuff. And like, when you get to be my age and you're working in your career and you're trying to balance that with a family life, you have nothing, like no free time. So this is actually work, believe it or not. I'm considering this to be work. I'm like on the clock. And I'm drinking my salt water. It's got my fasting salts in it. But anyway, I was going to check back in tomorrow and to see if there was anything that I wanted to discuss today. I got a little bit of brain fog because of the fasting. This is day 2. So I think I'm going to drop it today, and maybe I'll be more mentally alert tomorrow. But this was a great one to show you kind of new features. I don't know what else really to talk about, to be honest, starting tomorrow, but like, I just can't sit here and code with the screen on me. I don't know. Or the camera on me. I just don't know. Really, like, it's not something I want to manage. Chat, making sure bots aren't showing up, and coding and making sure you can see what I'm looking at, and so yeah, that's basically that. Yeah, I guess that's it. I'm gonna jump off. I got some calls that I have to catch up on. A lot of stuff with my dad going on, so go handle that. Anyway, until next time.